making public statements, but I want to know whether you have heard from Epstein's victims or survivors about the recent release by DOJ. Have you heard of some of the concern of some of the survivors who believe that DOJ is deliberately releasing personal information about them?
See, that's
and while at the same time protecting the men that abuse these women?
Believe this fucking shit?
you want to answer you.
It's deeply concerning. I mean, look, the most recent release, we heard from the Department of Justice that they couldn't follow the law because they were taking so much time to carefully scrutinize the files and ensure they did the appropriate redactions to protect the survivors. And then we hear from survivor after survivor after survivor after survivor who was revealed in the release. So they delayed the release to protect the survivors, so they say. Then they failed to protect the survivors when they released half of the files of the law.
And the interesting thing is that the names that really weren't released are the perpetrators, are the people who abused these women. So we, again,
Crazy.
they victimized again the survivors, and they're protecting the people, who abused them. I gotta say that Republicans on the Oversight Committee have moved swiftly to hold the Clintons
And Democrats.
in criminal contempt. Yet several Republican members of the Oversight Committee notably refused to comply with congressional subpoenas from the January 6th committee. Maybe, Chairman Cohen, do you think your own members should have been held in contempt and prosecuted?
So I'm glad you asked that question, because there's been a lot of speculation in our Minnesota fraud investigation that there may be a Democrat member from Minnesota that net worth has significantly increased. What we found out,
Oh my God.
we can't investigate other members. That has to be the ethics committee. So if there was an issue with
Lying
the
again.
January 6th committee subpoenaing members of Congress, which I've been told we're not supposed to do, then they should take it up with the ethics committee, because that's their sole purpose, is to investigate other members.
So I'm just wondering whether we should recess for 5 or 10 minutes so that you can figure out what the Clinton development is, so we maybe can save ourselves a whole bunch of time.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mr. McGovern. Is this gonna be the standard practice every time we issue a subpoena? Whoever's in trouble, Democrats, Republicans, whoever's in control, every time you issue a subpoena, let them stonewall for 5 months, and then prove that you got the votes on the floor in a bipartisan fashion to hold them in contempt.
No, I think what the danger here is that the Clintons were negotiating in good faith, and you jumped to this.
For 5 months?
Just say, we have seen Chairman Comer has repeatedly moved the goalposts here.
Oh, that's bullcrap. That is not true. You've been here 3 weeks, you don't, hey, that's not true, Madison.
Mr. Chairman. At our markup, Chairman.
Reporters can't hear you, so, just a moment. You made an accusation, Mr.